Good evening and welcome to the 25th Annual New England Women's Leadership Awards. All of us at Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester are so pleased that you are here tonight with us to recognize and honor our amazing honorees and to support Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. I want to first and foremost congratulate the 2018 honorees, and that's Laurie Higgins, Denise Burgess, Sandy Fenwick, and Melissa Riley. Congratulations to all of you. You're all true leaders and magnificent role models for the girls at the club. We're thrilled to call all of you our friends. Secondly, I have two announcements that I'd like to make to kick off the night in a very positive way. I'm happy to say that we sold out all 511 seats in this ballroom, and that sure is a wonderful show of support for our terrific honorees and for the Boys and Girls Club. And we're sorry to 512. We couldn't let anyone else in. Another bit of good news, which is really exciting, is that thanks to the generous support of all our sponsors and all our guests here tonight, we have raised over $525,000 at this dinner tonight. These funds support more than 200 programs offered at Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. And as you may know, we charge our members only $5 a year to join our clubs. So your support of our kids will go a long way, and I can promise you that. And not everyone knows that Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester operates independently from other Boys and Girls Clubs in the city. So your support of our clubs ensures that kids in Dorchester are not overlooked and that they are well served by the amazing youth development professionals at all three of our clubs. And we're truly grateful to everyone in this room tonight for making this possible. So please give yourselves a nice round of applause. It's been my incredible pleasure to stand at this podium for all 25 New England Women Leadership Awards dinners. And to this day, what I love so much about this event is the positive impact that the 119 honorees over the years have had on the girls and boys at our clubs. As president and CEO, I have the benefit of working with some amazing people. I could not ask for a more caring and dedicated team. Percentage-wise, most of my day-to-day work is with women. I know, it is. That's a good thing. It's not something I think about too often, but when I do, I reflect on, I realize that the women that I grew up with and alongside, the women in my life today, the women at the club, have all had a positive influence on how I lead and how I see the world. And they make me a better person. I'm so grateful for that. This event does not only recognize amazing women, but also allows the young people from the club to appreciate all the brilliant things that are happening around us. In a world where smartphones allow social media to continually put negative situations in front of our children's eyes, I find this opportunity to highlight the positive, the good, and the truly meaningful work in the community uplifting. We're fortunate to have incredible women here tonight who work with us and support us. They're board members, they're volunteers, they're friends, and they're just so instrumental in preparing our children as the next generation of leaders. One of these incredible women is our dear friend Lisa Hughes. In addition to being the namesake of our journalism club, Lisa is a true leader in the field, highly influential and well-respected. Lisa is a journalist whose work reflects the true integrity of her profession. Thank you, Lisa, for your dedication, friendship, and passion for helping others, and for being such a loyal supporter of Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester for 15 years. Thank you, Lisa. I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to another outstanding leader here tonight, Grace Carter Reagan, who is president of Boston College High School, who's seated at my table. Just a few weeks ago, Grace was installed as the 28th president of this exceptional all-boys Jesuit high school in Boston. She is the first woman to lead the high school in its 154-year history. And I will tell you, I cannot think of another person who is more qualified or better suited to lead the school in the coming years. She is a remarkable leader and will do an extraordinary job of taking BC High to the next level of excellence. So as an alum, as someone who's very involved in the school, I couldn't be more pleased. And congratulations, Grace. It's very exciting. And finally, yet another outstanding leader here tonight is Linda Dorsina Forey, who's this year's event chair. Linda's the chair of the event this year, and she's a past NULA honoree. And I've had the pleasure of knowing Linda since she was a teenager. I know firsthand that the values instilled by her parents remain with her today. She embodies the ideal of service to others above herself. Whether it is caring for her own family or her constituents, she is a constant reminder that making someone else's world a little brighter brightens yours. She is always upbeat and smiling. She brings a powerful and positive energy to any room she enters. She is a leader who does not back down from a challenge and embraces change. Recently, Linda started a new chapter in her life, departing the state senate, where she served with distinction and was a major force in our neighborhoods. She now embraces a new role with none other than our title sponsor, Suffolk Construction, as Vice President of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Relations, where she will continue to make a difference. And it gives me real pleasure to introduce this year's chair, my good friend and fellow board member at the Boys and Girls Club, Linda Dorsina Forey.
Good evening. Good evening. Isn't this a celebration? Right? Let's clap for the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester. Thank you, Bob, for that kind introduction. I just want to welcome all of you. I want to thank Mayor Marty Walsh for being here with us, who knows the club, right? Has known the club for a long time. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations on the 25th anniversary of the New England Women's Leadership Award. What an incredible, incredible feat. 25 years. Can we give it up for the club again? It is an honor really for me to be here. I want to congratulate the honorees this evening. Lori Higgins, congratulations. Denise Burgess, Sandra Fenwick, Melissa Riley, who I know from the State House. Melissa. But I'm excited to be here with the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester and with all of you. As Bob mentioned, I have been in the club for a long, long time. I actually never left the club, right? I attended as a youth, and then after college, I still stayed involved when I went to BC. And when I got married to my husband, Bill, who was a longtime club member and have worked there a number of years after we had our children, we enrolled our children in the incredible early education and care program right at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. We chose the center at the club because we understood and understand the positive impact of a high-quality early education experience. All 4 of our children began their magical journey of education, learning and exploring at the club, and are still involved today. My John is 14, Connor's 11, Madeline is 7, and Nora is 5. Incredible, yeah. I want to thank Mary Kinsella and her incredible team around early education. We talk about early education here in Massachusetts and in Boston, in our cities and towns. But if we want a model that is working when we talk about quality, then we have to look at the club. And we have to look at Mary and her team, because the work that they are doing is unbelievable. And I know this because I saw it firsthand. When my kids left the club from toddler 1, toddler 2, preschool, K1, and if you're an infant, they take you to, right? When they left in K1, they were prepared beyond when they entered K2 in another school. So I thank you all. You know, I am blessed, and I say this because I live in our great community called Dorchester, where it is an amazing place in our great city, where you can come from all different places. As a first-generation American whose parents immigrated from Haiti, they came to this great country because they knew it was a land of opportunity. And they said, work hard. Get the grades, Linda, and that's what I did. And so I stand here because of my parents and the work that they did in helping us be rooted in this incredible community, but also because of my faith. And I see Father Sean is here. Thank you, Father Sean, for being here. And that's what it's about, is how do we step up and be there for each other? But Dorchester is a really special place. It's a vibrant hub of diversity, where for years, immigrants have felt safe to settle and begin their new lives. And in many ways, it's still that same place. I admire the folks for their grit, perseverance, and determination. And our mayor knows this because he is also first-generation American, and his parents came from Haiti. No, they didn't. Okay, he is my brother from another mother. But you know, his parents came from Ireland, and they settled. All right, come on. His parents came from Ireland and settled in our great community of Dorchester. But of course, over the years, right, the landscape of Dorchester has changed. The faces and families have come and gone. Vietnamese, Cape Verdean, Spanish, you name it, we have it in Dorchester. The schools and the parks look different. New buildings have been built, but the essentials remain the same. What impresses me most about the club is its ability to change and modify its programs and services, keeping a finger on the pulse and meeting the needs of the community through exemplary leadership, partnership, and in volunteer engagement. There is no other place like the club. It is an exceptional place in Dorchester and irreplaceable as the children and families it serves. At the Dorchester Boys and Girls Clubs, children are deeply engaged in their spring programs, taking part in STEM, finishing up final projects for school, you know, doing so many things, taking swimming lessons, creating works of art, practicing for music rehearsals, and dreaming of summer. And I love it all. Growing up, my parents instilled in us principles of life that remain with me today. I was taught to respect every person I met, to be a good listener, to take advantage of opportunities, and to believe in the transformational value of education. And we know this because if you treat people the way you want to be treated, and you speak to people the way you want to be spoken to, it will make a world of difference. We can change the world with just those two things. And that's what the club does. It embraces our young people where they are and reaches out to the families and gives support and say, we are here for you. If you need a shoulder to cry on, we are here for you. If you need someone to talk to, we are here for you. So they are doing incredible, incredible things. The club was a place where my parents knew, you know, we could go there, right? And it will be fine because there are adults that care. And they will have a wide perspective and introducing me to amazing friends and people that I met throughout my life. And so it started with my parents, and it started with my church youth group, and it was in my high school where I met Linda, who introduced me to Kevin, right, who worked at the club. Kevin, who, remember Kevin? Okay, give it up for Kevin, y'all, come on. I was a peer leader in high school, MRM, Monsignor Ryan Memorial High School, no longer in existence. All right, MRM in the house, okay, good, good. But I was a peer leader at MRM, and his wife, Linda, was the peer educator. And she said, Linda, you know what? You got to check out the Boys and Girls Club. Now, I've been to the Boys and Girls Club because my cousins live behind the Boys and Girls Club on Pleasant Street. So they would go there all the time, and we would stop in, and our youth group would play basketball at the Boys and Girls Club. And then I met Kevin. And he's like, you know what? We need you to be involved here at the club. And what an incredible, incredible experience. Because we were all young folks, right? 15 years old, 16 years old, hanging at the club, going down, taking the red line down to Harvard Square, going down to BC on the Green Line, taking some of that ice creamery, the ice cream creamery, right, at BC? White Mountain, thank you, all right. White Mountain Creamery. So we would take some ice cream, we'd enjoy ourselves, or we're in Harvard Square, and we would get back on the train to head back to Dorchester. And there was this song one summer. Let me think if I can remember it. It was amazing because we started singing it on the train, and we're like doing like slow motion dancing. It's like 20 city kids like just losing their mind, but it was amazing. And I say this because, Kim Lewis is here. Incredible friendships and bonds have been formed at the club. And what you all are doing here tonight is so important because you're saying, Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, we see you. And it's important that you hear what Bob said. The other boys, you hear folks funding, right, all this stuff, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston, we don't get money from that. This is an independent club, am I right? Yeah, this is an independent club. And so when we hear Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston, not the same. Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, right? And I say that because we love the Boys and Girls Club of Boston too, but I say that because that money is not coming to us. So Bob and his team have to go above and beyond to try to raise this money, $5 a year, to keep our kids in the doors doing these incredible work like STEM and swimming lessons and artwork. So, so important. And so I am grateful to each of you for being here tonight, for sponsoring the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, for saying that, you know what, this is an important place in the work that they're doing in transforming lives. And this New England Women's Leadership Award, 25 years recognizing outstanding women in our great state who continue to show up and do the right thing. So important. And I am grateful to be the chair this evening. And I'm gonna wrap up because I know we got programs to do. But it has been quite a ride, quite an experience. But I believe that the club no doubt instilled in me leadership as well. Because being part of the team, peer leaders, and being able to speak up and represent when we needed to, and to represent the club, they reached out to me and they taught me so much. And I believe my experience in the club, in school, at home, helped me to lead, and not just with not just my head, but with my heart, and the values deeply rooted in democracy, equity, justice, and with a strong work ethic. So now I transition. I transition from the public sector to go into the private. And I have an incredible experience to work for John Fish and this incredible business you call Suffolk. Incredible. And the Suffolk table and the team is here. I see Kate Sheridan and so many. Give it up for the team at Suffolk. And I say this, I highlight Kate and Bob. How are you, Bob Sheridan? But Kate, because Kate works at Suffolk, and literally when this event came up and we're like, we got to get sponsorship, she was on it, right? And so, John understood, got it, heard, right? Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester, okay, we're here. And so I get an opportunity to work for this company, but to work for this man who's rooted in his faith, that believes in giving back, that believes in uplifting communities and individuals and supporting families, and saying small business that's owned by people of color and women and veterans are important, that they're part of this growing economy and the workforce in our great state. So I'm grateful to be here, and to be here on behalf of Suffolk as well. But time has gone by. As I walk through the doors of the clubs with my kids and feel like it was just yesterday that it was me running up to the gym, I have been blessed to welcome an incredible family and to be part of this incredible family. Anyone who knows me knows my husband, Billy. He is my strength, and my children are my heart. They make each and every day of my life better. And as I reflect on my journey so far, I think about my family, my education, my work, the club, and all the people who have helped me along the way. I am beyond grateful, and I am excited to see what is yet to unfold. Bob mentioned that I am a past NEWLA honoree, and I know there are many of us here tonight. I want to take the time to invite the past NEWLA honorees to please stand up so we can recognize you. So I invite each of you, if you have not had a chance to come to the club, I ask you to come and to reconnect. Reconnect on Deer Street, reconnect on Dorchester Avenue, reconnect on Mount Vernon, and touch and see the work that is happening in our doors. Come and see it, and you will be amazed. I want you all to visit and share a piece of yourself. There are hundreds of ways that you can do it, whether it's volunteering or any other thing you would like to do. It's so important that we continue to give our girls role models who inspire them to do and want more. And I say our girls, but really our boys as well. But tonight we're recognizing women. But our young people need role models, don't they? Our young people need to see the opportunities and the possibility of what they can be. So, so important. And so I can't wait to hear from Jocelyn Sammy, who's going to be our keynote speaker this evening. And my advice to all our girls, the club will offer you many opportunities. Look at these. Grab a hold of them. Attend the conferences you will be invited to. Learn how to code, hang out in the games room, join the league, take part in the yoga classes, swim in the pool, sing with your friends, dance to the beat, say how you feel, be a good friend, put your cell phone down, right? Put the cell Appreciate others, give back, learn who you are, be yourself, and love who you are. Love who you are and treat people the way you want to be treated and speak to people the way you want to be spoken to. Thank you all and God bless. Okay, am I grabbing? Oh my gosh, I'm so thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Look at your smile.
Well, thank you, Linda. We're so honored that you're chairing this event tonight, and we appreciate you coming here a couple days after surgery, so heal quickly. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for all you do. I just want to recognize a few people. What a wonderful friend we have in Mayor Marty Walsh, who has been involved with our organization for over 20 years now. And when I first started at the club, I got to know him as a young man volunteering at the club and at the Little House and down the baseball field, and got to know what a genuine person this is when it comes to the neighborhood and the families in the neighborhoods, and especially the kids. So we're blessed at the club to have Marty as a great friend, and this city has never been better. I've had the privilege of working at the club for 31 years now, and I've seen a lot and a lot of great things, but this city has never been better, stronger, and the outlook has never been better. And that's all you, Mayor Walsh, and we thank you. We thank you for all that you do. I'd also like to mention a couple other people. First of all, my board of directors and board of advisors, thank you for supporting this event and for all you do. And the NULA committee, we thank you for all your hard work over the last 6 or 8 months in planning this event. I'd like to recognize George Krupansky, who's with Boys and Girls Clubs of America, who took the time to come out and be with us tonight. Thank you, George, for being here. And I'd like to thank the Marr family, who's here and have been here for all 25 years, and in fact, all 44 years. Many of you know that the Marrs founded the Boys and Girls Club, and the doors opened in 1974 on Deer Street. And it was the beginning of a great story. And now we have 3 amazing clubs in Dorchester. We have 4,000 children. And you know what? That's where it started, with the vision of the Marr family, who continue to support the club after all these years. So to the Marrs, we thank you for all your support and all you do for Dorchester. And a special guest tonight, who I'm very happy and pleased to announce, is Callie Flanagan of the USA Women's Gold Medal Olympic Hockey Team. Callie, where are you? I didn't miss a minute of those games. And when it came down to playing Canada, they stepped up their game, and boy, was that exciting. I couldn't have had more fun watching those games, and we're so proud of you, Callie. We're so proud of the team. And we got to talk later. My daughter's a big hockey player, okay? She's going to St. Anselm's to play hockey next year, so we got to talk, all right? It's now my honor to present a very special award to a really special person. The Circle of Giving Award is awarded from time to time, but not every year, to a woman who exemplifies leadership by example. The award recognizes the notion of service to others, and this year's honoree is continuously doing significant work to support children and families in need, and by doing so, inspires others to do the same. That is why we call it the Circle of Giving Award. And that is precisely why the NULA committee has selected Lori Higgins as this year's honoree. The decision to recognize Lori for all her good work was the easy part. The hard part was actually convincing her to accept the award. She is so humble. And so it was, after a 2-hour battle in my office, I was able to convince Lori that accepting the award would be a very positive thing for the many people who admire, appreciate, and respect all that she does throughout every neighborhood in the city. Maybe it was the allure of a slice of pizza from the Venice and a Greek salad, or maybe you just got sick of hearing me talking to you for 2 hours and you had to listen. Whatever the case, I prevailed over someone who never loses, so I felt pretty good about myself, if I do say so. Lori has always impressed me. As a teenager working at the club, she would run the reception desk at the club like a pro. No kid could sneak by her without a membership card. And Laurie could simultaneously handle checking in 4 floor hockey teams, taking deliveries, putting a Band-Aid on a child, answering the phones without batting an eyelash or missing a beat. When her fellow workers wanted me to know something, they would often ask Laurie to do their dirty work. They knew I was afraid of her. She had a style that was unique for a young person. She was poised when her peers were awkward and confident in an unassuming way. I also remember she was fiercely competitive in sports. That competitive spirit has served her well, and if you know Laurie, you know what I mean. The years have gone by. Laurie has grown into a beautiful woman with a family of her own. She is committed, protective, and proud of her family. The past few years have been spent in the public eye for Laurie. a magnifier of sorts, and one that can be regarded as stressful. But Laurie handles it all with elegant poise, with a humble and quiet grace. Laurie goes about her work, helping some of the most vulnerable people in the city of Boston. Now, rather than basketball, it is her passion for doing more and better things for those in need that is fulfilling her competitive spirit. She makes things happen. I personally know of Laurie's support for those who are sometimes forgotten or overlooked, the people in the community whose causes do not always draw attention. You probably haven't heard much about those particular nice things that she does, which is precisely how she operates, quietly, diligently, yet convincingly. I admire the way in which her unique stance and passion for helping those less fortunate has resulted in an enormous positive impact in every corner of this city. Laurie is leaving her mark on the city in her typical quiet and unassuming way. In these days, when every thought, action, or act of kindness is recorded and posted for all to see, she continues to fly under the radar screen. Quite deliberately, Laurie truly believes good deeds should be done with intention and not for attention. So, Laurie, let me say this. I forgive you for putting fear into my life every day for the first 2 years of my life on the job. And I forgive you for constantly saying, do it yourself, whenever I asked you to do something. And I even forgive you for stealing my car before you even had your license. She said that's not true. That's my version. Her version is, I borrowed your car, but I just forgot to ask you. I was just worried that she didn't have a license. Well, Laurie, you made it up and then some. You've made Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester a better place for children and families. And you have made countless other organizations better for the communities which they serve. And through it all, you remain as humble as anyone I've ever met in my life. Laurie, I'm proud and honored to present you with the Circle of Giving Award on behalf of Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, and also on behalf of all the other important organizations that you so caringly support. Laurie?
Thank you, Bob. I am so honored to receive this year's Circle of Giving Award. Congratulations to the 3 remarkable women who are receiving the 2018 Nuller Awards tonight. I want to thank Bob and Mary for your outstanding leadership. I also want to thank all of the staff who work so hard every day and are positive role models to the children at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. I know firsthand what an amazing place this is. I once was a club member and an employee as a teen. I had my license when I stole his car. And then became a mother whose daughter also was a club member while growing up. Because of the staff and programs and all the donors like you here tonight, these children will grow up and be sitting out there like you or standing up here like us, giving back to their community that once gave so much to them. So thank you all for supporting such an important organization to so many children and families. You are making a difference in the future of these children's lives. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice President of Education of Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, Mary Scannell.
That's the light. Good evening. Thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate women. Congratulations to all of the honorees. The New England Women's Leadership Awards is always my favorite event. I love the energy in the room and the messages that we'll hear, and also the opportunity to recognize inspiring women who are making a difference. At Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, we recognize that female inspiration for young girls is important. And this event lends itself to our commitment to provide the girls in our programs with opportunities and positive influences. People who they can look to for guidance, acceptance, and inspiration. A lot of you women in the room here tonight already work alongside of us at the Boys and Girls Club, mentoring, volunteering, and I'd like to thank you. Thank you for standing up, for stepping out, and for giving your time and energy to our girls. Thank you for sharing your talents as well as the lessons and insights you have gained on your personal journeys. I personally know that hundreds of our children really do benefit from your inspiration and guidance, and we are truly fortunate to have you. We talk a lot about female role models and expectations at Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. Even when the children are as young as toddlers, we are very aware of what we say, how we say things, and how we present things. And as the girls grow, we are constantly thinking about who we are as role models. As a staff member at the Boys and Girls Club and a mother of 3, I always try to be very mindful of my actions and thinking about how young girls might perceive me. I also try to be thoughtful about the words that I speak and attentive to the needs of the children. I'm often someone that some of the girls might go to for advice, and I take that role very seriously. I really enjoy when I am able to help somebody through a tough time or through a difficult situation. But the truth is, more often than not, the young people that I meet are the people that I learn more from than I probably give to them. And tonight, I have the honor of introducing you to our keynote speaker. Jocelyn Sammy is a 16-year-old member of Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, and I think she's been a member for probably almost half her life. I've known her since she joined the club. And as she's grown, I've watched her, play sports, take part in music and art. She traveled with us on the Rodman Disney for Kids trip. And she's just grown into a beautiful, young, kind, and caring woman. I remember Jocelyn was so anxious to work at the club, she would volunteer because she wasn't old enough. So she would volunteer in the games room and help out. But now she's old enough to work there, so she does. She is talented, smart, and funny. But when I was thinking about role models and introducing Jocelyn to you here tonight, I realized that she is one of the very special and unique club members who helps me to realize that I would be somewhat misguided to think that I could even come close to being a role model for her. She has been a role model to me. She is, sometimes as a club member comes along and they just shine so bright, I almost have to step back. She's definitely one of those young girls. She has an old soul, and she really does enrich my life as much as she enriches all of the lives of the kids at the club. She has commitment to her job, to her family, to school. She has deep wisdom, far beyond anything I probably have now, but certainly at the age of 16. And even at her young age, she's able to influence others, including myself, by serving as an example. She holds all of the personal qualities, behaviors, and achievements that inspire me and others to strive to be better. So it is my honor to introduce to you Jocelyn Sammy.
Thank you. Welcome to NULA 2018, and congratulations to all of the strong women who are being honored and recognized tonight. I am Jocelyn Sammy, and I have been a member of the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester for more than half my life. As a 16-year-old young woman and sophomore at Tech Boston Academy, I know I have a bright future ahead of me. For a long time, I wasn't quite certain what that future would look like. As a little girl, I was bullied. I was told I was ugly and called names. I know I wasn't the only one going through this, but it made me feel alone, and it made me question myself. The words and actions of one person took over my young life. I was scared and uncertain. I felt intimidated and unprotected. That was when the club was most important to me. It is at the club that I found safety and security. When thinking about the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester and what I will speak to you about tonight, I realized that the club is a very special place. It is so special that it's hard to put into words. But I will try because it is important for you to know that the club offers more than just sports and field trips. It's a home away from home. It's a place where you can be yourself. It is safe. Being safe is more than just being in a place that is away from the violence. It is really about feeling connected and not feeling alone. I know it might seem hard to believe that kids these days could possibly feel alone. Well, we always have our phone in our hands, Snapchatting, or on Instagram. But feeling alone is something I think a lot of young people experience, especially us girls. We compare ourselves to each other. We base our worth on likes. Sometimes we isolate ourselves because we don't feel good enough. We get caught up in an illusion, a pretend reality, a place where perfection is expected. We create stories in our heads that are not real, voices that are not real, criticism that isn't real. For a long time, I was my own biggest critic, and I believed the words of my bully. I was pretty mean to myself. It is hard to ignore those loud voices, especially when the voices are the ones inside your own head. I did not like asking for help. I would overthink things constantly. I did not feel smart enough or pretty enough. I looked at everyone else like they were better than me, had more than me, and were happier than me. The club helped to change all of that. The staff seemed to know what I was going through before I ever knew it myself. They accepted me and saw what I couldn't see. As I have grown, I realized that the club seems to have grown right along with me. When I was younger, I would learn new things like spelling and how to mix colors. As I got older, coaches helped me learn new skills and find new interests. And when I was struggling, the staff found a way to make me feel good enough and special. They offered their advice and looked out for me every day. Because of the club, I have become more aware of others and how I can help. I am now a young leader. I am now a member to Young Leaders, and it has opened my eyes. It wasn't until I started working with the kids that I started to think differently about myself. I take my job very seriously. It is a lot of responsibility, and we have to be trained and prepared. I want to do the best I can, so I really listen and try to remember what I was taught when I was younger. As I thought about ways to teach self-esteem to the younger kids, I started to learn more about myself. I felt more confident about myself as I spoke to the children. I would tell them that they're perfect just the way they were smart, and they were beautiful. Through them, I began to see the beauty in who I was. What I once saw as my flaws slowly became the things I liked most about myself. I want the children to know that it's okay to make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes, and we will do better next time. I want the kids to know that they can overcome obstacles because they are resilient and strong. I want them to understand that it is hard to know your purpose or where you fit in, but you do fit in, and you will find your way. The club has taught me how to make mistakes, overcome obstacles, and find where I belong. Even as I deal with the issues in my life today, I know the staff at the club are here to listen to me, to help me make hard decisions, and to guide me on the right path. Today I'm someone with a bright future. Today I'm someone who helps others. Today I know I can do anything. Today, I thank the club for always being that safe place. Because of you all here tonight, the club will always be that special place for other kids too. Thank you so much for your support.
Hello, everyone, and thank you. Can we please have another huge round of applause for the musicians from the clubhouse? That was an amazing performance. You are all so talented, and I want to take guitar lessons from the fellow on the end, so thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be back with all of you. As Bob mentioned, this is my 15th year to be a part of NULA. And thank you, really thank you. And what I love about it is everything we're experiencing in this room tonight. From the stories of empowerment, the care that the staff takes, the opportunities that are afforded, the community that rallies around these kids. And Jocelyn, to hear you speak about the change that took place in your life because of who you are, but because of the support you received at the club, spoke to me, and I know it spoke to every girl in this room. So just keep doing what you're doing, because you're remarkable. And Lori, there may have to be an investigation into what happened years ago with the license. I believe you, but there could be a good story here. You know, I don't usually read my horoscope, but I couldn't help but notice in the Globe today, it read, "Tonight, a favorite place with favorite people." And that's what this is. I want to salute Bob and everybody at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester who have created a safe, exciting place where kids are exposed to art and music and philosophy and the Rodman Ride and Camp Northbound and all of these opportunities that tap both into their values, into this great community in our city, and what it means to be connected. Tonight, we celebrate great women leaders in our community, and we celebrate the women leaders of the future. And thank you for all being a part of this great celebration. I also want to take a second and recognize the Seaport. It is so nice to be here, and to all of our servers tonight who navigate this room so adeptly, thank you very much. The place really is important, and the Seaport has partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester in ways that go far beyond this beautiful setting here tonight. They've hosted school vacation programs for the club. They've partnered with the club, and they've offered shadow days. And I just want to mention, if you or your company think that you might be able to bring the kids in some way and introduce them to something that you do, please contact somebody from the club because it presents another really exciting opportunity. It's a real privilege to be here with the extraordinary women we honor tonight, who are leaders and who are role models. It's also a pleasure to hear from these girls who have grown up in the club, as Jocelyn did, 8 years there, and for some of them, it will be the place that forms the foundation of who they are. Over the past 25 years, we've recognized 119 remarkable women in Boston. And you'll see the honorees appear on the screen. You've seen some of them here tonight. But their commitment to the club and the ways in which they elevate people in this community cannot be understated. We're proud to recognize Lori tonight, and Denise Burgess, and Sandy Fenwick, and Melissa Riley. They embody the qualities that NULA was created to celebrate. Smarts, compassion, dedication, perseverance, passion, and courage. And you'll hear how each one came to that place of discovering her passion. You'll also find out tonight, in their words of wisdom, why it is that so many people around them are inspired by what they do. And you'll meet more of the wonderful girls at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, who got a chance to spend time one-on-one with our honorees, to form relationships, and who can speak about them so easily tonight because they developed friendships. Now, we have some very special sponsors, and I'm going to, typically I like to just talk, but I don't want to forget anybody on this list. And I want to start by mentioning again what Bob said. To raise more than $500,000 with one night because of your generosity is extraordinary. So to all of you who made this possible, thank you. Linda, I love your energy, and thank you so much on behalf of everybody at Suffolk Construction, our title sponsor tonight, contributing $50,000 to NULA. Thank you. In a night of records, we also had a record number of gold sponsors tonight, 11, and an incredible list of generous supporters. Ballybreen Drummondville Trust, Bank of America, J. Dorenzo Company, whose name I saw just outside as I was driving in here, John Moriarty and Associates, Mass Mutual, MJW Charitable Foundation, MP Boston, Nancy and Dick Friedman, TJX, Baraki Family Trust, and Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Our media partner tonight for NULA is the Boston Globe. And thank you to our bronze sponsors, Dow Jones, Eastern Bank, Feeney Brothers Utility Services, GE, Highland Street, HYM Investment Group, the Marr Companies, Martin Richard Foundation, Samuels and Associates, and Shawmut Design and Construction. And our patron sponsors, we have a lot of very generous people in this room. Bob and Jean Sheridan Family Fund, the Building Trades Association, Congress Wealth Management, Dorset Hall, Elizabeth Keeley, Endeavor Capital, Gene Temple, Joe DeRigo, Lee Kennedy Company Incorporated, Mintz Levin, Rodman Ford, Turner Construction Company, and Sarah Dasco and Atlas Investments. Thank you to all of you. In addition to our table sponsors and all of you who made donations tonight and purchased tickets, thank you. And as always, we are so grateful to Allen and Garrettson, our creative sponsor. Woo! The work they do for the club is extraordinary, and I will never forget my first experience with NULA, walking in and seeing what you created and thinking, they just get the clubs. To be able to sum up the energy in an image or a graphic is pretty extraordinary, and Allen and Garrettson does it every single time. CEO Andrew Graff is on the board of the Boys and Girls Clubs. He's a tireless advocate for young people in Boston, and so for all that you do, thank you so much to Allen and Garrettson. Your creativity makes a huge difference. In addition, we also want to thank Stapleton Floral for donating the honoree bouquets tonight. Our NULA awards were donated by committee member Tony Curry and T.R. Miller. And the photography and videography for this event were provided by Flavio D. Photography. Flavio de Barros is an alumni of the club. A thanks to Katie Ann Farrar, art director at the clubs, for creating the wonderful gifts that you're going to see tonight for our honorees. I just want to mention on this night that we have raised an extraordinary amount of money for an extraordinary place. If you would like to make a contribution, you'll be able to do so. There are donation cards on the table, and you can leave those with a staff member in the lobby before you go. We talk about social media and how it's not always so great. Tonight we can elevate that too. You can tag the clubs in any photos you take, BGCD, with the hashtag NULA2018. If you would, for the next, say, 5 minutes, just stay seated and enjoy. We're going to maybe 3 minutes. We're going to go right into it. This is what I love about this. This is like breaking news. We're moving on the fly here, folks. It is my pleasure now to introduce a great friend to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston, Mayor Marty Walsh. Longtime supporter, 18-year board member. You know you have a champion in Mayor Walsh. He is always advocating for the club. He's looking out for young people, whether it's jobs or safety or opportunities. He's a devoted partner, and he is a devoted partner to our Circle of Giving honoree tonight, Lori. A power couple, to be sure, who always keep the club in their thoughts and in their hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Marty Walsh.
Thank you very much, Lisa. And how about another round of applause for Lisa Hughes, who's amazing. I also want to thank Linda Docina-Fori, who just knocked over the tray table there. She was limping around. She hit the tray. How are you, Senator? Thank you very much for what you do. To Bob and Mary Scannell, and incredible work at the club as always. To all the staff members that are here from the club, to the board of directors, it is a very special place. We say it every year. Thank you for everything you do for all of the kids that go through your front door every single day and the thousands of lives that you've impacted. I want to have a group of young people stand up. I want all the club members that are here tonight, just please stand up in the room so we can give you a round of applause. We got some over here, back there, over here. This is part of the reason why everyone is here tonight, and this is part of the reason why all those sponsors sponsored tonight's event and made it the most successful NULA Recognition Award night in the history of the club. And I want to thank you, and I just want you to know all the sponsors that are out there. Take back to your offices. Next year we're going to break this year's record, so just be ready for a phone call. We're going to make a couple. No one's clapping for that, huh? All right, well, we'll see. The amazing young women that have come on this stage and will be on the stage in a little while, Jocelyn and Caitlin and Sophia and Tina and Kathleen and Jane, and all the great young people here. You're talented, you're amazing. Just Jocelyn's speech up here, I was saying earlier, I heard like 4 or 5 different people. Just the way you deliver that speech was absolutely amazing. And congratulations to the singers that were up here. You are all the next generation of leaders, I can tell you that, and it's such an honor to be here tonight. Last year at this dinner, we were fortunate enough to have the Vice President of the United States of America come to this dinner. And I was talking to him last week, and he said to me, he said, isn't this the time of year for the Dorchester? He mentioned Dorchester Boys and Girls Club event. I said, yes. He goes, do me a favor. Make sure when you get up there, tell them Joe Biden said hello to everybody. So I said, I will do that. So congratulations to all of you. Tonight's honorees, when you think about the honorees, 119 honorees over 25 years is amazing. Tonight's honorees, Denise Burgess, CEO of the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts. When you get a chance to hear her speak and hear her resume, it's an absolutely incredible resume. Just as a couple things I want to talk about, but mention. CNN, my favorite news station, by the way, in the State Department, and a woman aspiring leader here who's on the stage tonight. To all the young people in the room, when you think about when you want to do something and somebody says you can't do it, don't listen to them, because you can do anything you want. And Denise is a great example of that. I want to thank Denise. Sandy Fenwick, President and CEO of Children's Hospital, Boston. It's only ranked the #1 pediatric hospital in the world. And over the last 5 years, I've had the chance to get to know Sandy and her compassion, her care. She is not a president of a hospital. She's somebody who cares deeply about the kids in the hospital, the kids in the city, and the people in the city of Boston. And Sandy, it's a well-deserved recognition for you tonight, so congratulations on that. One of my favorite people in the world, Melissa Riley. I was hobnobbing around the JFK Library that night with Melissa. We were at the Profiles and Courage Award. She was there. She had her gold medal on, and she wasn't bragging, but she was boasting a little bit. And she said to me, am I going to see you Thursday night? I said, absolutely. And Melissa is an inspiration and a hero to so many people. And I want to thank you, Melissa, for being such a great role model for so many people. You're awesome. And the Circle of Giving Award, I can't say much here because I will get in trouble when I go home. But I am so grateful that Bob Scannell convinced Laurie to accept this award. Everything that he said about her is 100% true. She cares about the kids in this club. She cares about the people in the city. She has to put up with me every single day. And she doesn't want any credit for it. And one of the things I think is the most remarkable thing about Laurie is not just what she does for the club and other organizations. It's she raised an incredible, beautiful daughter, and she was an incredible mother to her. And I watched her over the years, whether it was working at the State House with Gino Flaherty. I just watched her the way she was with her daughter. And her daughter is an incredible young woman who's in law school, and her daughter Lauren's here with her today. And I want to congratulate Laurie. I want to congratulate Laurie on a well-deserved recognition and say I love you. I'm just going to end with thank you for supporting this incredible club. There are thousands of kids that this club impacts. I can't imagine the numbers of kids over 44 years. That's probably almost 500,000 kids that have been impacted by the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. All the past board members and board members here, thank you for it. This is a special place because the young people that are on the stage here tonight are going to go on and become special people. Some of them are going to be coming up here and being recognized as a Circle of Giving honoree because of the impact the club had in their lives. One of these young people, one of these young women might stand up here as the mayor of the city of Boston someday and say that they got their desire to serve because they watched what happened at the club. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting this incredible organization, and I will see you all again next year.
Thank you, Mayor. Now is the moment we have all been waiting for. We'd like to begin the awards presentations, and tonight's first honoree is Denise Burgess. Here to introduce Denise is club member Tina Lee. Tina is 14. She's been a member of the Boys and Girls Club since she was 8 years old, and she takes advantage of so many opportunities offered at the club. The Torch Club, the Science Club, Girl Scouts, and gymnastics. Most days you can find Tina in the Education Center, reading books and doing homework. She's kind, she's a friend to all, and she has created some close and very meaningful relationships with the staff members at the clubs. Tina hopes to be a pediatrician when she grows up. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tina Lee.
I am thrilled to introduce our first honoree tonight, the brave, talented, and smart Denise Burgess. Denise has had many well-respected positions, including American diplomat, national news correspondent, and international communications consultant. Most recently, she held the position of country director of the Carter Center in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where she worked hard to protect human rights. Denise grew up in a housing development in Brighton and did not have all the same advantages of her many peers. She experienced many challenges along the way, but she always worked hard. Denise was raised by a single mother who always stressed the importance of a good education. Denise graduated with a bachelor's degree from Princeton and a master's from Syracuse University. Denise was recently named CEO of Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts, where she will continue to serve others, teaching girls about confidence, courage, and character. I take part in Girl Scouts every week at the Boys and Girls Club, and can tell you that this program really encourages girls to dream big. I was very honored to have met Denise at the club recently. I was struck by her kindness and her ability to connect with others. During the visit, I learned that Denise's sister was a Girl Scout. She listens to her mom's advice, she loves cats, and she lives in Dorchester. Denise is a role model for girls everywhere. She is one of those people who make me realize that if I work hard, I could be anything I want to be. Race, gender, or cultural differences did not get in her way, and I won't let them get in mine either. I invite you to learn. I invite you to learn a little bit more about Denise now.
My name is Denise Burgess, and I'm the CEO of Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts. I draw my motivation from a desire to see the world be a better place. And as sort of goofy as that sounds, and ridiculous as it sounds, it really is a motivation for me. I have had a career pretty much overseas and outside of the United States. I came home permanently last year, and I saw an ad in the paper for the Girl Scouts and for this particular position. What attracted me to the position is it's kind of a through line in the work that I've done my whole life. Overseas, and particularly in the last couple of years where I've been the director and had the authority to change programming, I have changed programming from focusing on certain other things like democracy and focusing on gender mainstreaming and gender equality. And so in working with the women in these various countries that I've worked in, what I came to understand was that you have to start at a really young age. So when I saw the ad for the Girl Scouts, I thought, see, that's where I need to be.
On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times.
I was not a Girl Scout myself, but I did volunteer overseas for both Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. I particularly loved the time that I spent with the Girl Scouts because I felt, first of all, a natural affinity. They're girls. I understand what they're going through. I encourage all young ladies to dream big. I think one of the things we gals tend to do, is we cap ourselves. We don't dream big. We don't shoot for the moon. I say shoot for the moon, and if you make it to the stars, that's great. The most important advice I ever received came from my mother, from when I was a young girl, who said, education is the most important thing in your life. And if you do anything in this world, get an education. And she's gonna start crying then.
Congratulations on this New England Women's Leadership Award, Denise.
Hello, everybody. Adjust everything. Did Tina do a great job with that introduction or what? Right, good job, sister. Before I start with my formal remarks, I just want to make one observation. This is the 25th anniversary of this award. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester was recognizing women long before it was cool. So we're gathered here tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of the female leaders in our great city. We celebrate hoping that these individual stories, these lives lived in dedicated service, will inspire some of the coming generation to be leaders themselves. In thinking about the meaning of tonight's celebration, I began to reflect on the meaning of leadership and on who we collectively define as a leader. I think my most important observation was that there are good leaders and there are bad leaders. What, I ask myself, differentiates one from the other? After a lot of thought, more often than not, while walking my dog right over there on Savin Hill at Malibu Beach in our fair neighborhood, I came to this conclusion. There's one characteristic that good leaders possess and bad leaders lack, and that is a genuine concern for others. It's a simple but powerful notion. Good leaders are as concerned for others and their happiness as they are for themselves and their own happiness. For me, this is the indelible mark of a true leader. Leadership has nothing, and I want all the young people to pay attention to this part, please. Leadership has nothing to do with how many people follow you. It has nothing to do with how big your staff is or whether you hold a high office, with all due respect to our extraordinary mayor. Leadership has nothing to do with whether you have a lot of money. It has nothing to do with whether you have an elite education, and it has nothing to do with whether you have a high degree. No, that's not what leadership is about. Leadership is about service. It's service to others. It's a characteristic shared by every woman that has been honored with this award since its inception 25 years ago. I am so honored to be recognized for my service to our country and my service to those who are less fortunate than us. I want to thank the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester for this recognition. I'd also like to accept this award in honor of my sister, Vanessa. She passed away this day 4 years ago. Growing up, and right up until she died, she showed me what it means to be a good leader. Vanessa never had a staff. She never held an office. She didn't even graduate from college. And she never had a really high salary. But she taught me everything I know about being a good leader. She taught me that good leaders don't follow the crowd. They speak up when they see a wrong, even if they have to do it alone. She taught me that good leaders successfully lead themselves, and they do so long before they lead other people. And most important, she taught me that truly great leaders are present in their own lives each and every day. Because you cannot see the needs of others. You cannot help others, and you cannot make a meaningful difference unless you are awake and you are focused on the other. These are the lessons that I learned from my sister. They have defined how I've lived my life, and they have brought me here to this moment on this day. So with heartfelt thanks to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, I gratefully accept this award on behalf of my sister and myself. And I'm going to leave you all with one thought. Each and every one of us has the potential to be a good leader. We only have to choose to do so. Thank you.
That's me. Look at that.
Congratulations, Denise. We are so glad you came home. Our next honoree has been a friend of mine for almost 18 years, Sandra Fenwick. And here to introduce her is club member Kathleen Ryan. Kathleen is a 17-year-old at Ursuline Academy. She's been a member of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester for the past 6 years. She is a leader in her own right as a member of the Keystone Club and College Fellows. In addition to taking part in volunteer projects, she feels that being a member of the Keystone Club has allowed her to foster relationships and to give back. Kathleen is excited to be one of 10 students chosen to take part in a summer internship at Boston Children's Hospital, a very difficult internship to get. And Kathleen hopes to pursue a career in nursing. Please welcome Kathleen.
Our next honoree tonight has committed her life to improving pediatric health care and serving the sick children who travel from around the globe to receive care in Boston from the world's leading children's hospital. Sandra Fenwick is the president and CEO of Boston Children's Hospital and a true role model for young women. In 2013, she became the first woman to lead the hospital as CEO in its 144-year history. Sandra has been recognized for her dedication to improving the hospital's effectiveness and reducing the cost of care. She has also made their high-quality pediatric care services available to communities surrounding Boston by expanding the hospital's healthcare network. Sandra is widely respected in the healthcare community and admired by her peers at Boston Children's. She has received numerous awards, including a Champion in Healthcare Award from the Boston Business Journal, a Pinnacle Award from the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce, and this year, Forbes listed her as one of the 10 CEOs transforming healthcare in America. As a female, considering my college and career options, it's heartening to see a woman who was able to rise through the ranks in a male-dominated environment. I'd like to thank Sandra for paving the way and present her with this New England Women's Leadership Award. Let's learn a bit more about Sandy before she comes up for her award.
I'm Sandy Fenwick, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Boston Children's Hospital. If I were to describe what I do, I would say that I have, first of all, the best job in the world. And I have the honor and privilege of leading the #1 children's hospital in the world. So when I think of mentors, I think of first and foremost of my parents. They were inspirations to me. They always said, education is critical. Have a plan, have a vision for yourself, and never be satisfied. When I think about advising young women in pursuing their passion or their dream, it's first to say what excites them, what turns them on, who do they look to as somebody they would like to be or do the things that the person is doing, and then how do you expose yourself to that kind of experience, and then try it. The best advice I ever got was from my dad, who lived this every day, and that was to love what you do and do what you love, and get up every morning and be inspired, have impact, and give back. If I were mentoring myself, I would say, please be more patient. Accept criticism and relish the advice that you're getting to better yourself. And never, ever be satisfied that good is good enough. I have incredible respect and admiration for doctors, for nurses, for scientists, and my goal is to do everything I can to support them.
Congratulations, Sandy. I'd like to invite you to the stage now to accept this award.
Wow, speaking of powerhouses, isn't it amazing that we have these incredible young people? I think these girls are on fire, right? So thank you, Kathleen, and thank you to clearly the entire Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester for this honor. I am so humbled to be up here. I'd like to thank Kathleen's mom, who's here, Tracy, and her cousin, Deidre, who really inspired her to think about a career in nursing. And as you heard, she's going to be one of 10 young high school students who have a desire and a passion to go into nursing. And she's going to be immersed this summer in a program called our SCOOP program. So congratulations, Kathleen. Young women like you are really on the brink of so many exciting things, challenges, opportunities, changes that are going to come in your lives. And clearly this is truly what the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester was created to help with. The Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester was founded to provide a safe haven, and we've heard that over and over again today. Guidance and hope to young people, to help them realize their potential and to follow their dreams. That's a mission that we at Boston Children's and the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester share, which is why I'm so honored to be here tonight, because we have so many things that we're doing today for young people, for children, and we're doing it every day, just like you are. And so I thought I would just share just a couple of words of what leadership means to me. And there's been a lot of words today talking about empowerment. And when I think about leadership, it is not only empowering yourself to be a leader, it's empowering others, and especially today as we think about this, it's empowering young women. I loved science from the time I was in 5th grade, and Also, like you, Denise, I was an inspiring doctor, too. We didn't quite do that, I take it. And I was all the way through pre-med, studying medicine, all the way up to graduating pre-med, ready to go to medical school. Took a job and decided in the job that I was in that I really did not like the hands-on care. And so as much as I thought about, that has been my dream since I was in 5th grade, I said, you know, I have this incredible respect, as you heard, this incredible admiration for physicians, for scientists, for nurses who do this. I said that wasn't really going to be for me. So I made a difficult choice to leave the path that I had thought was going to be mine for the rest of my life, and decided that instead of being one, I wanted to support those who were, those who chose the path of taking care of children, of adults, doctors, nurses, scientists, and every other profession. And that's been my journey ever since, which is what when I think about at Children's, one of the programs we have is the Center for Young Women's Health. 2 decades ago, we started this program. It's an exceptional, reliable health resource for millions of teens, not only those that we care for, but what we put together for them to manage their own lives and their own health. It helps families, it helps educators, it helps providers. It has an international reputation for adolescent girls and helping them, particularly with chronic conditions. One mom, Susan, is a girl that I always like to think about because she is now 28. But when she was 13, her mom got her to Boston Children's from Ireland because she had a very serious birth defect. And she was struggling with trying to figure out how she would not only grow up and manage this condition, but what she would do with it as she grew up. And the exciting thing is she not only conquered that condition, but she also became an advocate for other young women. She has been to every conference in the last 15 years. She's been a spokesperson, and she is now completing her PhD in health psychology at King's College of London. Overcoming challenges, figuring out how she was going to step up and empower herself to take the lead and do what she wanted to do with her life. Despite different backgrounds, Susan and I have one thing in common. We faced tough decisions, and we empowered ourselves to make them. Changes, overcoming obstacles, making what we thought was going to be a difference in our lives. So to empower yourself, I believe you have to have 4 things. I think you have to have passion. As my dad said, love what you do and do what you love, and get up every morning, and I do that every day at Boston Children's. Integrity. There can be no gap between what you say you will do and what you do. It involves honesty, respect, and humility. Courage. Courage to take risks, to being able to pivot, like in sports. Pivot from what you thought you were going to do. Pivot when you have a difficult challenge in front of you, and change direction. And vision. Vision for yourself, what you will do, and how you will motivate others on the road forward, in particular, as we have also heard all night tonight, in service to others. So, our lives, your lives, I like to say, are like mosaics. There's no straight line. There's no path that you start at and you end up. Most people have lots of zigs and zags along the way. So be alert. This is what I'd also like to say to everyone out there. Most importantly, be alert and aware of opportunities. Empower yourselves to grab them, and when the time comes, pursue them. So thank you so much for this incredible honor. I am truly humbled tonight. And I can't thank all my wonderful new colleagues at the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester for recognizing the wonderful colleagues I have tonight. And thank you all for being here tonight.
Congratulations, Sandy. And while it is true that we may all zig and zag, when you have a child and something goes wrong, you make a very straight path to Boston Children's Hospital, in no small part because of your leadership and those doctors and nurses. Our next honoree is Melissa Riley. And I have to point out, as soon as I posted the honorees on Twitter, Melissa Riley's fan club began coming right out, wanting me to know that they couldn't have been happier that she was receiving this award. I think we all feel that way tonight. And the young woman introducing Melissa is my friend Jane Richard. Jane is 12 years old, and she's in 6th grade. Her favorite club activities are going to Camp Northbound, which she'll be doing again this summer, and volunteering as a buddy in the Martin Richard Challenger program. Jane keeps, as you can imagine, a very busy schedule, taking part in school activities, volunteering in the community, and lending a helping hand to a number of different projects. She loves to sing and dance, and she hopes to study theater in college and one day perform on Broadway, when she will give me an exclusive interview about her success. I know she's a beautiful person. I just didn't realize how beautiful your voice was. You are a true talent. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jane Richard.
I'm proud to present our next honoree, an incredible woman who has spent her life breaking through barriers, overcoming low expectations, and changing the way people think about individuals with disabilities. With her positive attitude, strong work ethic, and refusal to let her disability control her life, Melissa really is an inspiration for all young girls who have ever needed to overcome obstacles. Melissa is an amazing athlete who has competed in the Special Olympics, alpine skiing, cycling, and swimming. She was a member of Team USA at the Winter Games in Japan in 2005 and South Korea in 2013, and she won a silver medal in both competitions. In 2010, she was inducted into the Special Olympics Massachusetts Hall of Fame. Aside from her athletic accomplishments, Melissa has reached great success professionally. In her current role, she works as an aide for State Senator Jamie Eldridge. Previously, she worked as a classroom assistant, tutoring preschool students with Down syndrome. Melissa works tirelessly to raise awareness and let the world know that people with intellectual disabilities want to be included in school, in sports, in the office, and in life. As a Special Olympics global messenger and member of the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress, she has traveled around the country to spread this important message. She leads by example and proves it's possible to reach immense success in life by any measure. I admire Melissa so much, and I'm incredibly grateful for the work she is doing. She's truly deserving of this New England Women's Leadership Award. Let's learn a bit more about Melissa before she comes up for her award.
My name is Melissa Joy Riley. I was assistant to State Senator Jamie Eldridge and a Special Olympic athlete and board member. I love everything about working with Senator Eldridge. I have the best boss, and I have awesome co-workers. They have accepted me as part of the staff, and they see me as an invaluable member of the staff. I first started Special Olympics as a swimmer, and then a cyclist, and then my most favorite is alpine skiing. I've been skiing forever. This year at the Special Olympics, I I won 1 silver and 2 golds. The biggest highlight of my Special Olympics career that I have been selected to go to 2 World Games. One was in 2005 in Nagano, Japan, and in 2013 I went to Pyeongchang, South Korea. It was a big honor for me to be there. I was inducted to the Special Olympics Hall of Fame in 2010 from my work with Special Olympics and all the sports I have done. I am part of the South African Advisory Council for the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress. We give ideas and suggestions and events ideas to the board. I feel like I am a role model and a leader for those who are older and younger who have Down syndrome or other disabilities. My sister is my role model, and she will always be my role model. And she has four amazing children, and I'm proud to be an aunt and a godmother of the oldest. I love being an athlete. It gives you confidence and self-determination.
Congratulations, Melissa. I'd like to invite you to the stage to now accept this award.
This is a very special night. I am so happy and so honored. Actually, I cannot believe that I am here. First of all, I want to thank the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester for this amazing award. It is huge for me, but also for all people who have an intellectual disability. And I am very grateful to Maureen Peterson for nominating me. You are the best. I think everyone who is part of the Boys and Girls Clubs here in Dorchester is so lucky. This is such an amazing place. Kids of all different abilities come here to play, work, and learn, and of course to have fun. The Boys and Girls Clubs, just like Special Olympics, are changing the world through inclusion. They are leading the way. Special Olympics has been a big part of my life. Through sports training, a competition, and public speaking, it has all helped me become who I am today. Their unified champion schools program brings together students of all abilities, creating social inclusion in schools. This is big. I also want to thank my boss, State Senator Jamie Eldridge, for making Team Eldridge an inclusive team at the State House. He hired me as a paid member of his staff. I would like to accept this incredible award on behalf of all people like me. Thank you all.
I'm glad that you're a hugger. Congratulations. Inclusion is the answer. To Melissa and Sandy, Denise and Lori, congratulations. Thank you for letting us celebrate you tonight and everything you bring to our community as role models, as people who care about the kids at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. To all of you, thank you for supporting such a wonderful place. Bob, thank you for having me back. You've made my May again. I go back to work with wings. You'll see yourself tonight on WBZ News if you stay up until 11 o'clock. And for all of our honorees and presenters, past and present, please come up. Let's take some pictures. And to all of you, thank you so much for your support. Have a great night. And congratulations to the Boys and Girls of Dorchester. Thank you.